Hey everyone, I'm Ocarina of Time Nerd, and today I'll be counting down the top 10 best looking new IPs of 2014.
You got it. Stand by for Titanfall.
For those unfamiliar with the term, IP stands for intellectual property and represents a new series or franchise in the world of video games. So, sit back and relax. Here are my top 10 new IPs for 2014.
We have made contact.
Number 10, Dying Light. Riding on the coattails of past games' popularity in its genre, Techland's Dying Light seeks to reinvent the ways in which players combat the undead by means of an integrated free-running system and a dynamic day and night cycle. Although Dying Light zombies won't bear much of a threat during the day, the setting of the sun will cause them to deal much more damage, run faster, and scale structures in ways similar to the player. Utilizing distractions and special traps will be essential to one's survival, regardless of the time of day.
Okay, I'm done with the car.
Not bad. Keep it up, you might just make it.
And if there's one thing that makes a zombie game even better, it's the inclusion of special infected that force the player to switch up their combat strategy on the fly. Tank-like zombies and a more sinister, hunter-esque special infected are but a few of the challenges players can expect in Dying Light.
Oh, Jesus.
What's small, blue, has horns, and likes to use a shovel? Shovel Knight, of course, and it's number 9 on my list. Representing 2D side-scrollers this year is Yacht Club Games' Heroic Shoveler, fully rendered in all of its 8-bit glory. The developer has even gone to the trouble of utilizing the same color palette as past NES games. But don't let that fool you. Shovel Knight uses a variety of new techniques to create depth between the foreground and background of the game's setting. And, in a manner very similar to that of Scrooge McDuck in DuckTales, Shovel Knight's ability to pogo off the heads of enemies and surfaces only adds to its hefty dose of nostalgia. As a homage to Nintendo, the game will see releases on Wii U and 3DS. Number 8, Watch Dogs. A lot of upcoming games are taking on the challenge of building an intricate open-world concept, but Watch Dogs' combination of information-based warfare and a fully connected digital city set it apart as one of the more unique-looking new IPs to be released this year. Despite the incredible amount of backlash this title has received due to the delay from its initial launch date, there's no denying that it looks to be incredibly ambitious from a development standpoint. And if there's one thing we've learned from game delays, most notably that of BioShock Infinite, the wait is usually worthwhile, as I hope is the case with Ubisoft's Watch Dogs.
You screw around and you get people hurt.
Number 7, Murdered, Sole Suspect. Teased for over a year now, Sole Suspect's detective elements combined with its supernatural theme make it quite the provocative next-gen title. And while current-gen systems are slated to receive the game as well, it will certainly be exciting to see the ways in which next-gen systems will utilize their upgraded hardware to squeeze every bit of awesomeness out of Sole Suspect. With possession mechanics similar to those of Aiden in Beyond Two Souls, and other supernatural abilities, Detective Ronan O'Connor will be forced to solve his own murder in the midst of other demonic entities.
You imagine when you're dead, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. But here, there are things far worse than death.
If done well, Sole Suspect could see success similar to that of past detective-based games, such as LA Noire, with a supernatural touch, of course. Currently, Sole Suspect is slated to hit store shelves in June.
There was a witness.
Number 6, The Order, 1886. If you've ever wanted to hunt down half-bred monsters in a fictionalized London as one of King Arthur's knights while wielding futuristic weaponry, this is the game for you. Recognized for its steampunk-esque knights and Victorian-styled setting, The Order 1886 could be the breath of fresh air PlayStation needs to truly gain momentum for its latest console. Exclusive to PS4, players will be tasked with defending a city from strange half-bred creatures bent on destruction. Spurred on by an over-the-top industrial revolution, advanced technology has found its way into the hands of London's defenders, making Ready at Dawn's action-adventure game stand out as an incredibly unique concept amongst other titles also slated to release this year. In fact, it kind of makes me want to go out and buy a PS4 right now. Number 5, Evolve. From the creators of Left 4 Dead comes a unique blend of team-based gameplay mixed with survival horror. In Evolve, players choose between playing as one of 4 hunters, likened to Space Marines, or a variety of different monsters. Once a match begins, the hunters must attempt to kill the player-controlled monster, but there's a catch. The monster can eat local wildlife within the game's various settings, allowing it to evolve into larger, more terrifying forms. By its final evolution, the monster stands at a menacing 30 feet tall, making the job of the humans a whole lot more difficult. To triumph, hunters must work together, utilizing unique abilities to defeat the game's monster. However, if all of the humans are incapacitated, the monster wins, raising the overall stakes of the game. For competitive multiplayer fans alike, Evolve looks to reinvent online multiplayer in new and exciting ways. Number 4, Sunset Overdrive. At this point, not a whole lot is known about this IP. However, the folks over at Insomniac Games are known for making some pretty awesome titles, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Exclusive to Xbox One, Sunset Overdrive centers around some sort of disaster that has wiped out much of the game's city. Most of those who have survived have turned into strange-looking mutants, shedding light on the possibility of a post-apocalyptic plot. Relying heavily on the use of Microsoft's cloud servers, the game is said to entertain the idea of a living world in which player feedback and data can be added almost instantaneously. Plus, there's the whole orange soda gun thing touted in the game's trailer from E3. Mutants, orange soda, and guns, what could be better, right? Number 3, The Evil Within. In stark contrast to the game's trailer music you're hearing right now, The Evil Within's gruesome gameplay and forbidding setting make it my top pick for what looks to be the most promising horror game released in quite some time. Directed by the father of Resident Evil himself, Shinji Mikami hopes to return the survival horror genre to its roots by removing action sequences that have plagued survival horror games over the past few years. If you're searching for a game that holds your hand, you're straight out of luck, as murderous booby traps and chainsaw-wielding psychopaths may end up being the least of your worries. If you've played Resident Evil 4, you may just be a bit more prepared than the rest of us. Still, if you plan on picking up The Evil Within later this year, good luck not soiling yourself. You're gonna need it. Number 2, Titanfall. From the same people who brought gamers the likes of the Modern Warfare series comes Titanfall, a futuristic first-person shooter with the added element of large player-controlled mechs known as Titans. With its immersive environments, added jetpack features, and 3 different Titans to choose from, Titanfall could be the next big thing on the first-person shooter frontier. Notably, the game has been created without a single-player mode, making it a purely online multiplayer game with cutscenes and pre-timed events integrated into the experience.
I'm gonna kick all your asses.
Deemed the spiritual successor to the Call of Duty franchise, the hype surrounding Respawn Entertainment's soon-to-be-released multiplayer shooter is huge. And so long as EA can avoid complications similar to those associated with the launch of Battlefield 4, Titanfall should have no issues rising to the top as one of the best new IPs in 2014. Prepare for Titanfall, everyone. Before I get to number 1 on my list, let's take a look at a few honorable mentions. Coming in at number 1 on my list is Bungie's Destiny. Built by the hands that crafted the Halo series into the AAA franchise it is today, Destiny's mythic open-world setting, majestic visuals, and charismatic concept make it stand out as something truly special in the realm of video games this year. Set 700 years into the future, players will be tasked with defending the last standing city on Earth as they forge their very own personal narratives, either as a group or by themselves. This brilliant mashup of MMO and RPG elements will allow players to interact with one another in a living, breathing world via Bungie's automatic matchmaking system, making Destiny the best-looking new IP of 2014. So there you have it, 10 incredible new IPs headed your way this year. If you feel as though there's a major game I've missed, feel free to let me know in the comments section below. Or create your very own personal list of new IPs you're excited about in 2014. And to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest video game news, head over to gengame.net to find a variety of articles and other game-related content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.